person and to everyone who is watching at home somewhere else. We are an open and inclusive congregation. Our members walk diverse paths to find meaning and purpose, but we are united by the belief in the inherent worth and dignity of all. My name is Linda Heidenberg, and I've been an active member of the Lake Norman UU Fellowship since 2015. Our speaker today, which I mentioned before, is our wonderful Reverend Pat Jobe, who has been here since 2020. He started during COVID, and we did Zooms for a while, and so nice to get together in live after that. Okay, please join me as I light the chalice. Here we go. I don't hear you. Light the chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In our search for truth, may we be just. In our service for justice, may we be loving. And loving, may we find peace. Opening words.
If you'll get your hymnal, our opening words are found on 616. And as we read these responsively, I want you to hold Parker Pendleton Shaw in your hearts. 616. I'll read the plain print, and if you all will read the italics, that would be great. For so the children come, and so they have been coming.
Always the same way they come.
Born of the seed of man and woman. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses.
No wise men see a star to show where to find a day that will save mankind.
Yet each night a child is born is a holy night.
Fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's grace, feel glory in sight of new life beginning.
They ask, where and how will this new life end, or will it end ever?
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worship.
It works. See you, Senor. Eddie just sprung this on me, so.
Oh, we did yours first.
You want to do mine first?
Sure.
Law, have mercy.
We were in the right key this week.
Let's breathe together. Close your eyes if you want to. Breathe into your center. Breathe for the world. For Sudan. For Yemen. For the Gaza Strip. For Israel. For Syria. For Turkey. For Ukraine. For Russia. Breathe for our families. Breathe for our health. Breathe for the celebration of this season and for the hope for peace. And if you're comfortable doing it, open your eyes. Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Collectively, if not universally, but surely at the level of hundreds of millions of children, this is Christmas Eve. The day that flows into the night when stockings will be hung by the chimney with care, and something wonderful might just happen during the night and be revealed in the morning. Even as adults, some of us, we anticipate that maybe, the world will wake up tomorrow morning and find peace and fairness and universal health care. All of this may be under the Christmas trees of the whole world tomorrow morning. Maybe estranged family members will reunite. Maybe harsh illnesses will be cured. Christmas Eve, even more than Christmas morning, is the International Day of Anticipation. What if? Maybe. What if? Maybe. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? We live in a world hobbled by logic and reason and science. I've told you many times that my own journey has been infested with people begging me to be reasonable. I have neither skill nor taste for such a path. I have nightmarish memories of a smug 10-year-old saying to my little 8-year-old self, "One night, every house in the world? You've got to be kidding." So I went to the wisest, most wonderful person I knew, my mother, and she said, "When you stop believing, he stops coming." And so far, it has worked. I never stopped believing. He never stopped coming. A dear friend of mine was temporarily homeless, and she and her single mom were walking the streets of Columbia, South Carolina, knocking on people's doors and saying, "We need a place to spend the night." And finally, a family took them in on Christmas Eve and gave them an attic room way up high. And as the little girl was going to sleep that night, her mother said, "Honey, we're homeless. We don't have anything. There won't be any presents tomorrow morning for you." And during the night, she awoke and she declares, now in her almost 70-year-old body, she declares that there was a red pant leg with a white cuff and a black boot going out the window of this attic room. And when she awoke the next morning, there was a brand new baby doll sitting on the table by her bed. About 10 years ago, my then 34-year-old son and I joined forces with some of Santa's elves to make sure that his also 34-year-old wife had a giant stocking stuffed and waiting for her when she arose on Christmas morning. People who don't believe in Santa Claus need antipsychotic drugs. And what about this baby appearing in a manger? Appearing to shepherds while the brightest star shone in the night sky? Should we be skeptical or put off that his skin was blue and he grew into the Hindu god Krishna? No, we should not be put off by that. We are not to mock the accounts of the birth of Jesus just because they bear an extraordinary similarity to a story at that point that was 500 years old from India, the birth of the Hindu god Krishna. We can still believe, as the heavy winter quilt of myths surrounding the birth of Jesus comfort us and sometimes bring us to tears in our eyes as we relish childhood memories of Silent Night or O Come All Ye Faithful. Sung by a church full of people, a whole lot of sinners and a handful of saints. There are even Christians who do not celebrate Christmas because scholars have figured out that Jesus was not born at this time of year. He was born at another time of year. So there are sects of Christianity that don't celebrate Christmas. And there are atheists who do. It's almost as though the combination of Santa Claus and Jesus creates an entirely separate religion that gets celebrated tonight and tomorrow morning. And there were at least 8 other ancient deities born on December 25th because a certain mountain range in the Middle East has the sun coming between the 2 highest mountains on December 25th. Good day for a celebration. But despite all the bumper stickers and yard signs that beg us to keep Christ in Christmas, the powerful music, and much of which you have beautifully heard this morning, the powerful music and images keep the babe of Bethlehem right there, and a billion lives are drawn back to the Prince of Peace every year. It has always amazed me that there are Christians who don't believe in Christmas and atheists who do. Christmas was both Jesus and Santa Claus. And oh, the power of Christmas myths, the Christmas carols, the Christmas cards, the Christmas cookies, the Christmas movies, the performances of the Nutcracker and Handel's Messiah. It is almost as though there is a giant gate that opens up sometime in early November, and a flood of toys and joys and unmitigated tomfoolery comes flooding into what Longfellow once called every Middlesex village and town. More powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, the mythology of Christmas permeates so much of the world, we are sometimes amazed to find people who don't pay it much mind. But none of it is based in historical fact. Unlike the snows of Kilimanjaro or the sands of Waikiki, there is nothing we can prove or substantiate about a baby born in a manger or a toy distributor who flies behind 8 tiny reindeer. Yet both are inspiring. They have redemptive power that lifts our hearts and thrills us at various levels of belief and hope and peace and joy. How could anybody listen to Eddie Gunn play "Oh Holy Night" and not be moved? And his extraordinary accompanist was right there with him, Mike Alec. And finally, there is a third myth that we need to talk about at this sacred time of year, and that is the Super Bowl. What could be stranger or more bizarre? First played in 1967, the event has become like the logo of the Sherwin-Williams Paint Company, covering the world. Unlike Martin Luther King Day, an event still ignored by many Americans, the Super Bowl is not only practically beyond ignoring in this country, but it is watched on television around the world. The NFL claims 1 billion people watch it on television. It is not hard to imagine that nearly as many people watch the Super Bowl as celebrate Christmas. And the Super Bowl halftime show is the hallmark of any entertainer's career. Super Bowl parties gather friends and family, and even as the non-football fans gather in the kitchen and ignore the game, there is the camaraderie of chit-chat, strong drink, and jokes at the expense of the folks who actually are watching the game. Some church youth groups organize SOUPER, soup bowls, to bring awareness to world hunger. And although the NFL insists that only officially sanctioned events can use the name Super Bowl, they must be secretly delighted at all the ways the event is celebrated. And there it is. A few dozen hulking athletes gather in the presence of people, some of whom have paid thousands of dollars for a ticket, and they crash into each other for a couple of hours between the most expensive television commercials ever, anywhere. There is hope that one or two plays will have the thrilling impact of a great ballet leap or Superman flying faster than a speeding bullet. And how in the world, in the short span of 56 years, has this become so pervasive? I'll leave you to answer that question. But imagine what would happen if the NFL ever joined forces with those church youth groups to truly impact world hunger, or dare we dream it, the refugee crisis, world peace, and a basic standard of living for all human beings. As we embrace the mythological power of the Super Bowl, let us take just a moment to imagine the impact it could really have if the owners weren't so busy stuffing their mattresses with treasure that will rust and turn into dust sooner or later. Each of these three myths remind us to connect beyond ourselves. They remind us that we are already connected beyond ourselves. And if the three myths named today, the baby in Bethlehem, Santa Claus, and the Super Bowl, if those three myths do not connect you to things outside yourself, then find connections that do work. Maybe mythologize the sky or the sunshine, without which we would all be gone in 5 minutes. Add a layer of deep respect for something that connects you to all of life. It may be nothing more than a puff of wind, but make something sacred and mythological and love it. Once you have done that, you will be able to heed the oh so familiar warning. You better not pout. You better not cry. You better watch out. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Myths remind us there are larger forces afoot in the world, and we are not separate from those larger forces. They are part of us, and we are part of them. Where's my running mate? There you are. Linda and I are now going to listen to y'all talk back and say anything you want to say. That's polite.
Yeah. Okay, anybody? Come on up and say something.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to talk? Please come up because we're broadcasting.
I don't like.
We're broadcasting. If you don't come up, the home folks at home can't hear you.
They'll miss you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to reiterate what my mom had said, and also that this is probably the closest, most meaningful words during Christmas Eve that I have heard that coincide with my own personal beliefs and thoughts. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Can I offer it? Come on, Grandma.
I got so distracted by thinking about little Parker that I forgot that I wanted to say something else. All three of those events are tied with food
Yes.
and the need for food and the need to produce food. And I have within me this need to produce food this time of year. There is Lebkuchen out on a tray out there. Now, Lebkuchen means gingerbread in German, but I would say it's a cross between fruitcake and a hermit bar. Very dense. I don't want to take any home. So afterwards.
It's on the table on the other side of the lobby.
Anyway, just love to bake, so holidays are a great excuse.
Thank you, Susan. Wow.
Some of what Pat spoke about really struck me. I think that the reason some Christians have decided not to celebrate Christmas is that they came to understand that a lot of it is just taken from religions far more ancient than theirs. And many of you may know that there was a time in Great Britain when they outlawed the celebration of Christmas. It was against the law to put up a tree, to dance, to drink, to eat various foods. They recognized that these things all came from the Druids and they came from other religions and beliefs that far predated Jesus. And there are many, many accounts of leaders, spiritual leaders throughout the world being born around that time. And for me, I celebrate the solstice, and I believe that's where everything sprang from for this time of year. It's the return of the light. And that's what many Christians are seeking also. But I think that's why many Christians turned away from that, because they understand that you're not the reason for the season. The planet turns. That's why we have a season. And all the wonderful things that we associate come from other traditions. And I never have watched the Super Bowl in all my life. Never will. I have had to go and work Super Bowl parties. I actually came very close to having to be on the team to go and produce a Super Bowl one year. And I was going, not me, don't take me. And it turns out that it was another team. That's one of the times the Panthers ventured out. But I do watch the Puppy Bowl every year. And I want to recommend the Puppy Bowl to you all. It's a good way to have fun on that day and watch puppies play and give to different rescue groups around the country. And the last part of the myths are really my favorite, and those are the old stories that we still have. Rudolph, and who cannot remember as a kid watching Rudolph? Everybody saw that, and everybody has their favorites, and they are tied to myths and touchstones about this time of year, if you really look back at them. So that's my thoughts on
Thank
what
we do so
this
much.
time of year.
And thank you for driving over here and walking in.
Yeah, for those that don't know, she had knee surgery and knee replacement. So, you hear all those stories about how horrible it is, and it doesn't have to be.
It was not. I heard horrendous things. People just telling me that you wish you were dead.
No.
Afraid to die.
No.
Linda said no. Jim said no. Right.
See, that's good. Yeah. There is hope. Any other comments or anything?
She said it.
Oh, yeah. You okay, Robin?
Yeah, she said it. Thank you.
She said it? Okay. All right. Mike, where'd you go? Mike is going to play an original, right?
Right, just for you, Linda.
Just for me. I
She requested it.
I heard this on Facebook and it's gorgeous.
I brought my classical guitar out. I don't have a strap, so I hang in here. Knee deep in the snow, across the fields, mean winds blow. You light the fire, you make it bright. The greatest gift is you tonight. Just above the world to see, stars align for you and me. Wonder in the mystery, the miracle of love. Right outside, children sing, open up and let it ring. Hearts are pure, their song is true. The gift of love awaits for you. Just above the world to see, stars align for you and me. Wander in the mystery, the miracle of love. Snow falls, hearts rise, stars shine in your eyes. The wonder and the mystery, the miracle of love. Knee deep in the snow, time is here, I think you know. You light the fire, you make it bright. The greatest gift, it's you tonight. Just above the world to see, stars align for you and me. Wonder in the mystery, the miracle of love.
We are so fortunate to have Mike and Teresa, who's not here tonight, and Pat, Eddie.
Tim.
Where is it? Tim. I mean, what a talented bunch. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, this fellowship is important to all of us, and the contributions we make today allow us to sustain and grow our congregation and to reach out to the community, both nearby and the larger world. Your giving affirms our commitment to each other and keeps us going. With great, I was going to read the wrong thing. With grateful hearts, we receive these gifts. May they encourage us to live lives of integrity, compassion, and peace. Now for the announcements. We are going out, we as a congregation, you're all invited to go out for dinner afterwards. We're going to the Fusion Bowl, which will be open tonight. We usually go there or at McAllister's in Cornelius because it holds a lot of people. Please let me know if you're going so I can call and let them know how many to set up for. If you're interested in going out for a meal afterwards, we'd love to see you. I know some of you have to hurry home for whatever preparations you have. Please take a look at the other announcements. Movie on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to the movies. We're going to go see The Boys in the Boat, which is about a rowing crew thing. That's much all I know about it. In the heart of the Carolinas, we are proud of their building fences. How many fences did you build this year? About 21 fences. 61 dogs free, 21 fences built to get the dogs off the chains. Wonderful. You can see what else is in here. Okay, and now we're going to sing Deck the Halls nice and loud here.
All right. In your best shower voice.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Now we now are here, la 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 la. Jobe ancient hills and carol, la 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 la. See the blazing hill before us, la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasures, la 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 la. Past away the old year passes, la 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 la. Hail the new year and lasses, la 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 la. Sing with joyous all together, la 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 la. Here is on the wind and weather, la 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 la.
On this day in the city of David, a child is born, and his name shall be Wonderful, Marvelous, and the government shall rest upon his shoulders. May 2024 be the year that the government rests on the shoulders of a mythological baby born to rule with kindness, compassion, and generosity. Next year in Jerusalem, Shalom, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam.
Please join me in the extinguishing of the chalice. It's in your chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the air of forgiveness. These we bear in our hearts until we meet again. Have a good holiday.
Don't forget Susan's pastry.